guys, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Cheyenne.
And we are
Conbini Cult.
Today we have episode 3. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the podcast so far. Today we're going to have some Reddit stories. But first, before we begin, we would like to shout out The Deck. Thank you so much for hosting us. They are a co-working space in Osaka. So I'll put some information about them in the description if you want to check them out. But yeah, we appreciate that they're letting us use their meeting space and the mics.
Thank you, Deck. Okay, moving on. So, do you want to talk about our Japanese word of the day?
Sure. We both have experience with this word.
Yeah. So, if you would like to introduce, I think it's very relatable now that spring has sprung.
I feel it everywhere.
Yep. Maybe you can guess what it is.
It is kafunsho, hay fever, spring allergies. Yeah.
So, do you have it now?
Yeah, that reminds me. I forgot to take my nasal spray this morning. So.
Oh yeah, I never experienced kafunsho until like last year or this year for the first time, and so for me, when I first came to Japan and come springtime, everyone around me was like sniffling and they had all the itchy eyes and all the typical symptoms of hay fever. And it's just something I've never experienced. And I was like, what is going on? You guys are weak. And I don't know if I'm just getting old, but I have it this year. And I'm so sorry. This is my formal apology to everyone I made fun of. It is not fun. My eyes get really, really itchy when I have kafunsho. So take care.
Okay. On behalf of the kafunsho community, I accept your apology.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Did anything interesting happen this week?
For me, yeah. So actually, after we recorded episode 1 of our podcast, I went to an MMA tournament. I currently take, some kickboxing classes, and one of my trainers there had a tournament that I went to go see, and she did a great job. She won. So that was really cool. That was my first time seeing an MMA tournament ever in my life. And yeah, it was... I don't know. I've never seen it outside of TV. So when you are there, like hearing the punches and like the sounds of everyone like kicking, and yeah, it was pretty intense, but it was good. I had a good time. How about you?
Well, I've never seen an MMA fight. But my week. Yeah, sorry, it's not that interesting. I've just been editing at home. March is a really busy time especially if you're a freelancer, because there's so many last-minute projects before the fiscal year ends. So hopefully in April, get some more time.
I see. Well, Frankie also always travels a lot. Have you been anywhere recently?
Not since our last podcast. No. But next week, I'm doing a little solo trip around Shikoku for cherry blossoms.
Fun.
I'm trying to avoid the crowds in Kyoto, of course. So let's see what Shikoku has to offer.
Okay.
Season.
So I know we'll move on in just a second, but I have a question, because for springtime, that means you go out and like look at the sakura, the cherry blossoms, and you've been to so many places. Do you have a favorite spot that you like to go see cherry blossoms at?
What I like to do is I have an electric bicycle, so I just ride aimlessly sometimes. I call it my jitensha adventure.
Nice. We love a good wordplay.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're like, even if you just take a walk without like an aimless walk, you're probably going to find some cherry blossoms somewhere. So like my favorite spots have been little like riverbanks or something like that. Yeah. But as far as like accessible places, maybe, Oh, there's a place in southern Kyoto called Sewaritei.
Okay. And you said it's kind of hard to access unless you have like a car or bike?
Not this one. You can take the Keihan line to, I think it's Yodo station, and then walk like 15 or 20 minutes. But yeah, I would suggest you get there at like 8 a.m. Or earlier.
I see.
It's like a really beautiful path.
Yeah,
it gets crowded. Because I think around lunchtime they put food trucks there, so then it gets really busy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be so fun. I don't know. I'm so excited to sit outside under the trees and, drink a little bit, eat some good snacks, see some friends, and just enjoy the cherry blossoms. So I hope you guys do too. Okay.
We should have a Hanami episode.
We could, bring some like portable mics or use these, what do you call them? I guess those are portable mics,
I just say like wireless.
Wireless mics. That was
I
the
don't
word.
know if there's a proper word for it.
Yeah, we can sit under the tree and do it. Ooh, okay, I'm down. Let's do it.
that. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about Reddit stories.
Mhm.
So of course we have to shout out one of our favorite podcasts,
Yeah.
Two Hot Takes,
Yeah.
who
If you know,
got us all started on Reddit stories, really.
yeah, and so if you guys are familiar, they read a lot of Reddit stories, more particularly like AITAH, Am I the Asshole stories.
Yep.
But yeah, talking about that podcast and finding out that Frankie and I are actually both fans of that podcast got us into making this podcast.
That's why we started this one.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, well, I'd really like to start a podcast, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to just talk to myself for an
Yeah.
hour every time.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. So
Yeah, it just kind of worked out.
here we are. So anyway, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so these stories are coming from r/Japan life.
Mhm.
There are a lot of threads related to living in Japan, but I was on this one for a while, and I was trying to find a mix of like things that are not only negative. I was trying to find some positive or like wholesome things in here as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah, and just to preface, I haven't seen any of these stories yet, so they're going to be super new for me. And I think for you too, you kind of like skim to get an idea, or
yeah, I
you read?
skimmed,
Okay,
but yeah,
okay. So we'll have one reaction and one like really fresh reaction, I guess.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one, kind of lighthearted, because White Day was recently. It is March 14th in Japan. Like Valentine's Day is usually for the guy, where they would get chocolates or gifts, and then they should reciprocate a month later on White Day. So somebody asked, what did you get your wives for White Day?
Okay. Ooh.
And somebody said, angry. I got her angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Okay.
really like the reply to this one. It's supposed to be something out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Maybe try again next year. Good luck.
Okay, another reply to this one. We celebrated early with fine dining to avoid the crowd. We both got poisoned by the oysters.
Okay. I know we're only 2 answers in, but did anyone get a good gift? Okay. Have you ever gotten like food poisoning from oysters before? Like norovirus or norovirus?
I've gotten it before, but from working with kids, not from
Oh,
oysters.
it's awful. Yeah, do not recommend. Okay, that sucks.
But I'm scared to eat raw oysters.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do it too often. I prefer if they're cooked.
Yeah. I love every form, and I went, where is it? Like in Hiroshima, there's like a place.
Yeah. Hiroshima's famous for oysters.
Yeah, and my boyfriend and I ate a lot, and I think there was just one bad one in the batch, and it was, not a fun rest of the weekend. But anyway, hasn't deterred me from eating them. Sorry, moving on. What else?
This one kind of made me laugh. Nothing since we don't do gifts. Sister-in-law and niece always give me stuff for Valentine's. Though this year I made them lasagna for White Day.
Very random, almost.
Yeah, gotta love a White Day lasagna.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad because lasagna is fire, but
No, I would love some lasagna right now.
that might be better than chocolates. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And the last one I'm gonna read. I put the trash out, and somebody replied, "I'm gonna miss her."
Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, how low is that bar? Is it on the floor? All right, buddy.
They are the sodai gomi.
Yeah.
The oversized trash.
Yeah. All
All
righty.
right, we ready for the next story?
Yes. Can I read it?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I can't see this part. Okay, let's start. So the title of this one is Somebody Putting Trash into My Mailbox. All right. So recently I had a couple of interesting situations that I thought were almost impossible in Japan. First, I've ordered the parcel from Amazon to be delivered in front of my door. It arrived around 9 a.m. When I went out to pick it up at 11 a.m. approximately, it was already gone. Somebody stole it, as Amazon guy took a photo and it was indeed on my door in the photo. Okay. Today, I just went to pick up some letters from my mailbox and noticed that it's painted in white. And when I went to pick inside, it was stuffed with wet paper flyers, like it was taken from the trash and put straight into my mailbox. I don't know what the fuck this is. Maybe some old Japanese people went crazy because I'm a gaijin, or they're trying to accuse me of bad trash sorting, even though I do it properly. I don't know. I have a big urge to put some security cameras and see who does it, but I'm going to wait to see if it'll continue, as I think those 2 accidents might be connected. If that shit will continue, I will need to act somehow, lol. Now pretty mad at that shit and wondering who could do such things in a neighborhood where mostly old Japanese people live. Maybe some old who I thought was not sorting trash or something. There was a lot of bad words in this one. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that was
okay. But I can tell you're very, very passionate about the trash. I would be pretty upset too. Yeah. Have you ever experienced something like that? Like finding trash in your mailbox?
No, but also the fact that they're saying like somebody painted their mailbox white.
Yeah, that's kind of gnarly.
That's really random.
Yeah, that is very random. But also in my experience living in the countryside, at least, like, what do you call the oya? Like the landlord of your building, they kind of just show up unannounced. And if they're going to do work on the building, they're going to do work and probably not tell you. So I could be wrong, but my assumption is like, he might be like, oh, well, I guess I'll paint this mailbox. I don't know, like managing his building, if that's the case.
But what if only their mailbox is white? The other ones were not painted.
Ooh.
And I think that's what they meant, but...
Oh, I see.
Who knows?
That part of the story kind of went right over my head. So yeah, I could be wrong.
I don't know. They didn't specify, but yeah, that's what I was thinking, that maybe only theirs was painted.
Yeah, I would see about installing some security cameras if you are that worried about it happening again. I don't know. It could, twice is obviously bad enough, but yeah, I don't know. I've never had trash put in my mailbox, but I find trash in my bike basket all the time. Yeah, and I used to have a bike when I lived in Chiba, and it
like
never
papers
happened.
Or food or
all of the above. So like, it's only when I'm in Osaka, and like, so I found like a Famichiki wrapper in there. I found like an old box of cigarettes. I found just like crumpled up like Conbini trash. Those like, I'll show you later, but like those green smoothies, like emptied out like a drink or a pet bottle, like plastic bottles and stuff. So I am victim to the random trash as well, but I just throw it away. I kind of like I'm not a fan of it, but I appreciate they put it somewhere versus the ground, Sure. So yeah, that's pretty intense. Were there any comments on that one or any updates?
Yeah. So somebody, somebody commented, I was having a very similar situation. First, he came with notes on my door talking about the, quote, smell that comes from my apartment. Okay. He even called the cops, and he and the police officers checked my apartment. Even with the police officer saying there was absolutely no smell at all, the neighbor wasn't convinced and kept calling the cops to my apartment several days every month, sometimes during the day, sometimes during the night, sometimes past 11 p.m. Sometimes I was alone, sometimes with friends, sometimes with my girlfriend. And every single time, the three of them would enter my apartment and check that there was no problem. That continued for about 6 months straight. Then one day he suddenly stopped calling the cops, and instead someone was putting trash into my mailbox. And I kept cleaning my mailbox for around 3 months. Then someone slashed the tires of my bicycle. And that is where it became hard to bear. Yeah. But every time I'd report to the police, they said they couldn't do anything. I even filmed him with an old smartphone, filming through the magic eye of the door. Magic eye? Like the people? The people. Okay. But the cops still didn't do anything, saying that the video could be edited. A few more months passed, and someone broke my window with a stone that probably weighed about a pound or two. I notified the real estate, just like I was reporting all his notes, police calls, trash, tire slashing, and now the window, which they said they couldn't do anything, and since I was the one bothered, I should move. Okay. Yeah, good. And obviously the real estate made me pay all the damage he did to the apartment. Oh my God, that just took a turn. I thought it was not innocent, but not as bad as that. Was really bad. Somebody had a vendetta against them. Like how expensive it is to move in Japan. Yeah, that is insane. I'm really sorry. Like a few $1,000s at least for somebody like you didn't even do anything wrong. That really sucks. That does really suck. And you had like video evidence and everything too. I know it's all done and you already moved, but did they say, was it like an old person like putting, I don't know, just who hates someone that much to like mess with trash in their mailbox and all that? I'm just so curious what the context or like what the reasoning was behind that, because I don't know, it's so random. Yeah. They say in some replies it was like an older Japanese guy, and maybe in his 50s, who seemed to be unemployed.
Oh, so he just had a lot of free time, I guess.
To slash tires and break
the tire slashing is pretty intense. That
and the window, because this person paid the damage to the window.
That's true.
Probably had to get new tires. So.
They're like putting your life like in danger almost. So like breaking windows and stuff. Yeah. Yikes. Okay.
That sucks.
Well, I'm really sorry that happened, but I'm glad you moved out of that situation. Yes. And that's such a bummer that, I don't know, you couldn't receive more help or support. Things like that do happen. It is rare, of course, but yeah, stuff like that does happen here. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. I hope you have better neighbors now.
Yeah. That is a good positive note. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. The next story I have is, I said no to overtime and my manager sent me home early.
Okay.
Would you like to read this one?
Oh, shall I? Oh, sure. Okay. So, hi there. I started working part-time at a conveyor belt sushi restaurant recently. Today was my 6th shift. It was a 4-hour shift from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and was very busy because it was Friday. They had me hunched over washing up plates for 2 hours straight, so that it was one of those shifts I couldn't wait to end. Anyway, during the last 30 minutes, my manager came up to me and asked if I can work until 11 p.m. instead, closing time. He said it would just be me for today since they were busy. I felt like I would hate myself if I said yes, especially since I still have a 40-minute walk home afterwards, so I apologized and said no. He was really pushy though and asked if I could work until 10:30 p.m. instead. I said no again, and then he started to ask why, which I felt was invasive. My Japanese isn't very advanced, so I tried to come up with a simple excuse that I had plans to meet a friend afterwards since I thought I'd only be working until 10 p.m. He kept pushing though and asked if I could call my friend and ask if we could meet 30 minutes later. I apologized and said no again, and then he told me I could leave now. Oh, yeah. I said I could still work until 10 p.m., but if he insisted that I can leave now because there's other people who can finish the task that I was doing. I was worried they would give me less shifts for saying no since my shifts aren't fixed and they haven't told me when my next ones are yet. But I didn't expect him to send me home on the spot like that. Is refusing overtime really that rude in Japan? I do need this job, so it would suck not to be given any more shifts because of this. My English-speaking coworker said that it's fine and this won't affect this, but I'm still worried. If they're really going to punish me for saying no, then it's probably for the best if I don't end up working here for too long. Is this just how things generally are in Japan? I'm worried that I'm so sorry, I cannot read. I'm worried that if just run into this again. Did I read that right? Is that
the last sentence is kind of strange. I'm worried that I might run into this again.
Is that what you meant? Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of butchered that last part. Thanks for reading. Okay.
That is petty to be, you can't stay until 11, you can't stay until 10:30, then go now.
Yeah. If it were me, I'd be like, all right, bye, But, there have been cases, where I've been working here and the same thing has happened where I was asked to, have a shift until 7. And then they asked me, actually, can you just stay till closing? And closing for my shift is 10 p.m. So that's a 3-hour difference. So I get, you kind of expected to finish at a certain time and the sudden request comes up. And you just started there, right? They said it was their 6th shift.
Yeah.
So it's such a weird position to be in where like you want to show your loyalty. I guess you want to show your commitment to like working there and things, but also you can't exactly you did say no, but it must have been really hard to, just let them know you couldn't. And that wasn't your responsibility anyway in the first place to do so. Yeah.
I mean, good on you for standing your ground and saying no.
Oh, sorry. Were you going to say something?
If they stop giving this person shifts in the future, I don't know. Of course, that's allowed. That sucks, but I don't know if there's anything they can actually do about it. Because isn't that a thing with Japanese companies? They might reduce your hours or kind of, instead of firing you directly, they kind of do give you less hours and make your work situation so uncomfortable that you quit.
I see. Yeah, I think one important piece of context here too is that it's a part-time job at like a kaiten sushi or a conveyor belt sushi restaurant.
True.
Maybe because it is like this kind of part-time job, like Frankie said, if you kind of state you're not available as they expect, then they won't really ask you that much anyway. I think this situation would have been very different if you were like a full-time employee somewhere at a company elsewhere, and to where they pressured you to do overtime. And yeah, I feel like the cultural pressure or the societal pressure to like work that overtime would have been stronger. I think there would be more people saying like it sucks, but like it's kind of what people do here. I don't know, shogunai, which is not good. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a baito. It's just a part-time. So I wouldn't feel guilty for saying no either.
Yeah.
I'm on OP's side with that.
Yeah. Hopefully you can find another part-time job because I mean a lot of places I always see signs like in windows of restaurants that they're like Boshu. So
yeah, and like you said, if this is something that they're going to continue to do, it's probably for the best that you don't work there anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
hopefully,
that
it was posted 13 days ago. So.
Oh, I wonder if there's an update. Did you see anything, or the general like reaction to it? Were people in the comments pretty supportive of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
People were supportive.
Okay, that's good.
They basically said the same as us. Like, it's just a part-time job. Like, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Ooh, what a fun.
All right. I was trying to find a wholesome one. So this one is posted 1 month ago. Pleasant experience at an onsen. Apologies for bad English. I had a very refreshing and new experience at an onsen in Kanagawa. They also had a haircut salon, so I just gave it a try.
Nice.
The guy was an experienced old man, and I just initiated the conversation. I loved how he responded so naturally and got the combo going with no sugarcoating and no Nihongo Jozu desu ne. Your Japanese is so good.
Yeah.
Kind of compliments. He went on to talk about politics and my future plans and life advice. Inside the onsen, I was corrected by another old man when I was using the shower the wrong way. And when I went inside the pool, another old man beside me struck up a combo. And we talked about economics, China, culture, diversity.
All right, yeah.
Diversity and the company he works at. It was rare for me to talk to people in an onsen where everyone just wants to relax and unwind, and never felt proud of myself, and all the struggles of learning Japanese finally paid off.
Yay! That was such a nice one. And I love the inclusion of like, they didn't Nihongo Jozu me, which is like, one of those like compliments that a lot of people feel like different ways about it. But yeah, it is really typical to run into that comment, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really nice. Oh, that made me like so happy. Yay.
Yeah.
It is always nice when people have like those wholesome, interactions and are able to like have conversations like that with like locals and like in such a of all the places too, you're taking a bath together. I don't know, like have fun.
Yeah. And it's nice that they said like a couple people corrected them about like they were using the shower the wrong way or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's nice if people say like, oh, like they show you the right way instead of like
watching and then they make
you
comments about it or something. Yeah. That's a great story, and I got a lot of upvotes too. Yeah. I think no downvotes. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
No downvotes.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Good job. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about your experience at onsen.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a conversation with someone while you were naked in the bathroom?
Let me think about that one. I'm going to say no, but that's also because I haven't been to like too many onsen like that. I have tattoos, so I just haven't had a lot of experiences like going to onsen. Not because all onsen in Japan are not tattoo friendly. That's not the case. Actually, Frankie has a great video about that. Please check it out.
Ask me about tattoo friendly onsen.
Yeah, but no. And I've always been curious, like, is it because I have tattoos? And I don't know if like this shouldn't really matter anyway, but like women's side of the onsen is like maybe everyone's just kind of like more private there. I don't know if they saw someone with tattoos and they just didn't feel like bothered to make conversation. But also onsen's not like the place where you're expecting a conversation like that anyway. I think this is like a really rare, nice, wholesome story. So me personally, no, I haven't, like had a nice interaction like that. But I love going to onsen. Yeah. How about you?
Let's see. I mean, there have been times in public onsen where there's like kids in there. And the kids are kind of like
Ooh.
Poke host it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like saying hello or something. But there was one time when, well, first of all, like I'm usually wearing my glasses most of the time. And when I take them off, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So if somebody's looking at me in the bath, I don't know. But there was one time like I got out of the bathtub. Like I felt like someone was staring at me, but I wasn't sure because I couldn't see. And then I went out to like dry off and get dressed. And this old lady was like right next to me in like the locker area where they have like the baskets where you put your towel, like personal belongings. So we were kind of like right next to each other there. And as I'm getting dressed, like I have my glasses back on at this point, and she just kind of like stopped and was like staring real hard.
Okay.
And then I was just like, hello.
Oh, that's nice that you approached her.
And then she was like, you're so beautiful. Where are you from?
Oh, okay.
And then I was still undressed at this point, so it was a little bit awkward. But yeah, as I was getting dressed, she was asking me like, what are you doing here in the countryside? Because it was somewhere like in the middle of Oita.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I forget exactly where. But yeah, she was like, what are you doing here? And then I was explaining like, oh, I'm here for work. So I was telling her about my job and where I'm from and all this stuff.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, leave it up to like a bachan, like a grandma, to really like, ask you some like random questions. That's really cute.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
It's always good, like, because I didn't know if she was like uncomfortable about my tattoos, but then she was just like, oh,
yeah,
I want to know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
In a nice way.
Sorry, it's not like related to onsen, but here in Osaka, I've like had a lot of nice interactions with like older people here. And in the summer last year, I was like wearing a tank top and I have a tattoo like around my arm and stuff. And yeah, some like random bachan in my neighborhood was just like looking at, I don't know, flowers on the street, on the sidewalk. She's like, do you know what kind of flowers these are? I was like, I don't know, grandma, but they're cute, huh? I think they're like tampopo. What is tampopo?
Dandelions?
Dandelions, yeah. I think they're dandelions. And then we were talking and she's like, your tattoos are really cool. And I was like, thank you. So they exist. Yeah. The people who like really admire tattoos and stuff. Yeah. So not in an onsen, but still a good interaction.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. One time I was in the supermarket during the summer. So I was wearing short sleeves. My tattoos were showing. And then some old lady was like kind of followed me for a little bit. And I was like, oh no, please don't say anything mean. But she was like, your tattoos are so beautiful. My granddaughter has a tattoo as well.
Oh, fun. Nice.
That's cute.
Yeah. It's really nice to see like positive reactions from Japanese people about tattoos. I think,
especially elderly people.
Yeah, especially elderly people, because it still exists, but like, a certain stigma about like tattoos here in Japan. But I feel like it's gotten a lot better. I don't know. Yeah. So nice.
Okay, we have 2 more stories. The next one is not a pleasant one.
Yeah, okay, going back to kind of the more negative stories. Okay. Yeah. Who's going to read this one?
Oh, this one has an update. So do you want to read the story, then I'll read the update?
Sure, sounds great.
Okay.
All right.
Go on.
Oh, I just interpreted that as opposite in my head. I was like, maybe I wasn't listening. I'm so sorry. I can do whichever one. I'll read the story. Okay. Before we start, I'm a little blind. Is there a way to make the text bigger? I think I have like rogan, which is like losing your eyesight when you get older. Okay. Just so I'm not leaning super hard into the mic reading it. Okay.
How's this size?
Great. Thank you so much for accommodating my old eyes. Okay. So the title of this one is called I Was Told No Foreigners by a Clinic. Okay. I just recently moved to a new area in Tokyo. I called a nearby clinic to make a reservation in Japanese, and pretty quickly into the conversation, the receptionist asked if I could go somewhere else instead. Okay, when I asked why, she clearly and blatantly said, they don't take foreigners. I was shocked, so I asked again just to make sure I heard right, and again she said, they don't take foreigners. When I accused the clinic of discrimination, they tried to deny it and claim that it's difficult to communicate with foreigners, though I've never had that issue at any other Japanese-speaking only clinic or hospital. If this were just a bar or something, I'd drop it, but the fact that a clinic can blatantly discriminate against patients seems insane to me. I'm not expecting much, sadly, but is there anywhere I can report them? I'm paranoid about it just leaving bad reviews because I've seen a first-hand case of someone getting sued over one.
What?
Oh no, okay.
have you ever experienced something like this?
Yes.
At a clinic?
Not at a clinic,
Okay.
no. I've been told when I was looking for a new place to live, I've been told by like the real estate company, they'll call the landlord and they're like, they do that like teeth sucking thing. And then I've had them just tell me like, no foreigners allowed. So yeah, I feel your pain, but at a clinic is pretty extreme. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, apartment hunting. Well, actually, like when I was apartment hunting in Tokyo, most of the places I was interested in said no foreigners right off the bat. Like,
ugh, yuck.
Yeah. But apartment hunting in Osaka was much more pleasant, I think. Like every place I wanted to see, I could see.
Okay.
And like, yeah, they treated me pretty normally.
Yeah,
Just like as long as you can speak Japanese, I think it should be no problem. But yeah, in Tokyo, I had some issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
Yeah, I got told that in Chiba. For additional context, I don't think it matters, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, never in Osaka.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was wondering if it's like mostly a Tokyo issue, but
could be. Yeah, that sucks. And you speak Japanese too, which is like more frustrating, I'm sure. It shouldn't happen either way, but still. Okay.
Yeah, but a clinic is pretty. I've never heard of that clinic before. Saying that, and the fact that this person like can also speak Japanese, they made a phone call in Japanese.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
All right. So there's an update. All right.
Okay, update. I called a patient voice hotline for reporting these sorts of things. I explained the situation and they said they would contact the clinic. They later updated me and said they were actually able to talk to the doctor, and he just doubled down and insisted they did nothing wrong because, quote, communication with foreigners is difficult. After that, they basically could not do anything else other than offer sympathy.
Okay.
I also called this government hotline. First, they tried to refer me back to the patient voice hotline. After I explained the results from the patient voice, they said they're going to determine if it warrants an investigation, which would take 2 to 3 weeks. They also warned that the clinic is allowed to decline the investigation. So honestly, I'm expecting nothing, but they said they would contact me again in 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Local police just said different hospitals have different rules and nothing can be done. Just go to a different clinic.
I don't like it. Okay. And they said they'll get a call in 2 to 3 weeks. And how long ago was that update?
The update?
I guess it doesn't really say. 23 days ago?
Yeah. The original post was 23 days ago, but it doesn't say when the update is.
Okay. So, wow, it's pretty recent.
Yeah. And the top comment says, they take national healthcare payments. Foreigners pay into the system. They should have no right to refuse service.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody replied, this also got a lot of upvotes. This, legally, they could lose their license, but is it worth OP's time? Definitely not. There are enough clinics in Tokyo for basically every specialty who will gladly take OP service.
That sucks. I know you're worried about maybe breaking like defamation and stuff like that.
Yeah, by leaving a bad review, you get sued for defamation.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't get it though, because it's true.
That's like how reviews work, though, right? Like you're just gonna leave your review. I don't know how it really works here either. But the petty side of me really wants to take pictures of it, like name drop them, tell them, just so you can warn other foreigners who are trying to use their service. Like if that's the response you got as someone who speaks Japanese, like I can only imagine someone who maybe doesn't speak Japanese as well, or if not at all, and then what kind of response they get. Like the fact that you speak Japanese still, and they were like, it's difficult to communicate. Like what was difficult? Like we're clearly having a conversation on the phone. Yeah. It's like, wait, what? Yeah. Yeah.
That's all we have to say about this one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry. That really sucks. But if there is an update, or if you guys find an update about this one, please send it to us because I'm very curious. Like, yeah. Let me know. I don't live in Tokyo, but I don't want to go to this place ever. All right. Ooh.
So the last one I have is titled Ask Me About My Cafe.
Okay.
This is, they're just basically inviting people to ask questions about like starting a cafe or business in Japan. They said, about 1 month ago, I posted about closing down the cafe I owned with my wife after about 2.5 years of business. We officially closed down 2 days ago. Some people requested I share some experiences for others that may have a future dream of opening a business in Japan, or anyone just curious about it. Yeah. I'll do my best to reply in a timely manner. but we've got so much to do, so it might be staggered. I don't really know what to share, so please ask any questions you may have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so somebody asked, what kind of startup costs were there for opening your cafe?
Good question.
OP says, so as a general overview, here are some numbers. We put in 250万 of our own money, like $25,000, but today's conversion rate, I don't know.
Yeah, don't ask me about numbers or anything.
Somewhere around $25,000, 2.5 million yen.
Yeah.
And they also took out a loan for 1000万.
A lot of money, again.
Like $100,000?
Again, you know that meme where the lady's like thinking really hard and then it's all the like algorithms and like formulas around her head? That's like what's going on for me right now. Don't ask me. I'm just looking at the text,
Yes, okay. There were construction costs too of about 700 man.
A lot of money.
7 million yen, around $70,000. Damn, this is way more expensive than I thought.
Yeah.
To open a cafe. Wow.
Yeah.
Other big costs were things like our espresso machine and grinder at about 100 man, about $10,000.
Okay.
1 million yen.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That is expensive.
That is very, very expensive. Do you ever like want to open a cafe or business in Japan like that?
Well, technically, I do have a business that me and my partner
have. That's right.
Production company.
Very fun. That's true.
But it's not like a physical place of business where people would walk into the office and like you do sales and stuff. So this is a bit different.
Yeah, I've always like thought about it, but I saw all of those numbers and maybe give me some time. Yeah, I'll reconsider.
Come back to this post.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. All right. So another person asked, what was the main reason for closing down and could it have been avoided when you look back at it? So OP said, I guess there were two main reasons. One, we were barely getting by on a monthly basis simply due to overhead costs of running a food-related business and the unfortunate reality of not having enough customers. Number two, we were tired of the 7-day work week and we could not see ourselves running a cafe. This is one of those things that we learned about ourselves through the experience of actually owning a cafe. All right. Yeah. So they also said, it seems so romantic from the outside. And truth be told, the absolute best part was spending every day, all day with my wife. Oh, we are best friends. So it was amazing. So cute. That's so cute. Okay. Oh, well, I'm glad you got to like, spend time together despite all the other difficult aspects of it. That's such a cute, positive response. I don't know. It warmed my heart.
Yeah. There are a lot of questions in this thread, so everything is going to be linked in the description and show notes if you want to look through it. But another question somebody asked that I think might be useful is they said, what advice do you have for a foreigner with N3 level Japanese that wants to start a cafe in Kyoto? I have a passion for coffee, hospitality, and design. Plus, I have a mathematical background.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Okay, I guess it depends on what you want out of your cafe and who your target demographic is. In the end, as long as you're doing what you love and taking an active approach to learning from your mistakes, that is going to get you through. In a more pragmatic sense, I do think you should start getting comfortable with speaking everyday Japanese in a polite and courteous way. By this, I mean actual practice. You will most likely have people visit you just to talk to you, and it's important you feel okay with speaking Japanese. It by no means has to be perfect Japanese, but you need to convey that you enjoy speaking with your customers.
Yeah.
That's such good advice.
That's great advice. Yeah. That is great advice as like a business owner, especially, talking with your customers, but also if you have like the funds for it, maybe like hiring some kind of Japanese speaking manager, just so they can handle like a lot of the business affairs of that too. I give this advice like I own a business, but like that's like something I would do at least too. Yeah. Yeah.
Food for thought.
Yeah. Great question. Great answer. Okay. Yeah. Were there any, other like maybe useful questions that kind of came up in this thread? Oh.
So this one kind of is making me laugh.
Okay.
I don't know how helpful this is going to be.
Okay.
But they just asked did you have a policy on customers who camped out with a coffee for hours on end every day? Oh my gosh. As if they own the place.
Oh.
Or customers who would engage you in conversation endlessly even while you're trying to take another person's order.
Okay.
wow, loaded question.
Yeah.
But OP very diplomatically responds,
Mm.
oh man, this is a great question. But in the end, we approached every situation with kindness. We had bad experiences when visiting other places where the owner was straight up rude. Things like yelling at customers to not take pictures, not lined up until they're ready to order, or just being annoyed at us for simply existing, that we made a rule that we would never be like that.
Good.
So in any situation, we would be very polite but straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sad that OP's cafe closed down. They sound like really good business owners.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. If you want to scroll back down, they gave some like example phrases of like what you could say to customers like that. Did you see that?
Yes.
So I feel like it'd be fun to read.
Okay, go on.
Oh, okay. So the first one you could say, you know, if they're kind of waiting to take someone else's order, it says, I'm sorry, it's great talking to you, but I need to help this other customer. I hope to see you again soon. Shoot them off. Okay, nice. Another one is, I'm sorry, we'd like to use this table. Is that okay? I think it's a fair question. Yeah. And then they just ended it with, in the end, professionalism, assertiveness, and kindness got the job done. Good. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to mention those two.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, I really like this thread.
Yeah, it is good. It is very useful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. All right. That is all I have for now. If you would like more Reddit stories like this, definitely let us know, because this is only episode 3, so we're still trying to gauge like how we're gonna run things around here.
Yeah, what works and what doesn't work, what you guys are interested in. But we're talking about like having our own Conbini cult thread, a Reddit thread, right?
Yeah, we're gonna start a Reddit thread in the future, but we're just gonna start with I'll put our email in the description and the show notes if you want us, like, if there's ever a prompt that we have, or like you just want to tell us like stories or ask for advice or something, you can send us an email for now. Yeah. And in the future we could start a Reddit thread.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
Okay. All right. That brings us to the end of episode 3. So thanks for listening and watching. We'll catch you guys next week for another hopefully exciting episode.
Yay! All right. Thank you for listening and watching. All right. See ya. Bye.
Yes.
Nice. That was good.